Good afternoon. Welcome to Current Affairs. Today, I would like to discuss with you with a concept called bad bank. In fact, this concept was present in my mind. I was hearing about this for quite long period of time, and I wanted to make a video on this. But very recently, I read an article in one of the magazines, and immediately, so I thought of going for it. So now let me explain you what exactly is the concept of bad bank. Of course, this is a part of our economic system in a country. Rather, in any country, it may be present, and that also become the part of their economic system. First of all, let me tell you when I use the words bad bank, this is not a bank which is bad, right? So hope I'm clear. Bad bank is not bad. The word bad is there in the name of the bank. So, but in reality, it is not bad, but it is for the good. What exactly is this? So, I would like to tell you. So, we have a banking system in India. So, where RBI is at the highest level. So, RBI is called the apex bank. And under the control of this RBI, we have various banks, maybe public sector banks, maybe private banks, maybe foreign banks or other cooperative banks. So various types of banks are present in India, and every bank has to operate only in accordance with the directions that are given by RBI. Fine. Now, how exactly so this banking system will function? First of all, every bank, maybe public sector bank like State Bank of India, State Bank of Hyderabad, are these private sector banks or foreign banks, every bank is running on the basis of this commercial aspect, meaning so it's a business for them. It's not a charity. It's not doing any charitable activity, but it's a commercial activity that is being done by these banks. But when you are performing these activities also, how effectively you are performing your function, that is very important. That is the reason why sometimes we come across in the newspaper with respect to the banking system, sometimes the banks will collapse. Clear, sometimes the banks will collapse. So meaning, so there are certain problematic areas present in every bank. Maybe public sector bank, maybe private sector banks. So whatever it is, how exactly it will function? Basically, the bank will always try to, a bank will always try to send money into the market. If the money is present only in the bank, if the money is present only in the bank, that bank will not generate any revenue. Hence, every bank will try to give money to the people in the form of the loans. Maybe housing loan, maybe car loan, maybe for the purpose of the business. So they are giving the loans to the people. Right? Whenever I say people, it may be big corporates, big industries may also be taking the loan. Obviously, their loans are much higher than the individual loans. Clear? A common man may be taking a loan of 5,000 rupees, right, or 50,000 rupees, or 5 lakhs. But when it comes to the corporates, that will be running into crores, and some big corporates loans are running into thousands of crores, right? Meaning the more money that goes out from the bank, the money that is present in the market is expected to generate some activity in the market, so that our economic system will be strengthened, more money will be generated, and out of this more money, again the principal amount along with the interest will come back to the bank. Meaning the banks are getting their own money, number one. Number two, the banks are also getting the interest. The more money that goes out, more interest will come back. More interest means more profits. So the banks will have more money at their disposal, and more money will go into the market. Again, it will keep on generating the revenue. This is how exactly a banking system is expected to function. Along with this, what happens? So the people will also go there and deposit the money. So we all have our savings accounts, current accounts, fixed deposits. So various mechanisms are present in the bank. If I go and deposit 10 lakh rupees in the bank, and the bank will tell me that you please come after 8 years, I'll give you double the amount. How come my 10 lakhs is going to become 20 lakhs after 8 years? How come the bank is going to pay? If the bank keeps my 10 lakh rupees as it is in the bank, after 8 years or 20 years also the same amount will be there. That is the reason why the bank has to generate more money on the money that I have deposited with the bank. For this reason, my money will be sent to the market, that will be given in the form of the loans to various people, and whatever the interest that is being coming back to the bank, that interest, out of that interest some amount will be given back to me, right, over a period of time. And that is how so a person will also generate it. Meaning, as long as the money is present at one place in a stagnant manner, it will not generate any income, and that will not be useful for the economic system of the nation. Money has to flow from one place to the other. If the money is flowing, then only there is an economic activity. That is how a system has to function. Clear? Now, what exactly is the bad bank? Let me tell you now. Now, so many banks, they are giving away the loans. So many banks, they are giving away the loans. Once the money goes back, again it is coming back to the bank, then no problem. Banks are running very smoothly and safely because every rupee is coming back. Sometimes, because of various reasons, I'll tell you what may happen. What may happen is that the money that is going out of the bank, it is not coming back to the bank. Reasons, I'll tell you the reasons now why it happens. It's not coming to the bank. Then obviously the actual amount of the bank that went out, but it is not coming back. Then what will happen? The bank will run into losses. If it is one case, two case, small amount of money, that may be a negligible amount. But when it goes into crores of rupees or thousands of crores, if the money is not coming back, then what will happen to the bank? And the money that goes out of the bank and not generating any revenue, that is called the non-performing asset. Meaning is simple. So whenever you are giving the loan, to a bank, you are taking some sureties. But what do you do with those sureties? And those sureties are not generating any revenue. Clear? Am I clear? Very, very important. So meaning is simple. Principal amount, either the principal amounts or interest that has to come to the bank. If it is overdue, for a period of 90 days, if it is overdue for a period of 90 days, meaning 3 months, then it is called the non-performing asset. More is the non-performing asset that shows inefficiency on the part of the banking system. When you have the capacity to give the loan, you should also have the capacity to collect it back. The more you collect, the more efficient you are. But the reason may be anything. The banks do not have the enough mechanism or capacity to collect it back. Especially when it comes to the big corporates, they are taking the money, and the reason may be anything. The money is not coming back. Clear? So of course, I can divide the projects into two categories: viable projects and non-viable projects. So viable projects are those projects that can be done, but there is a break on that particular project because of the external reasons. External reasons means, land acquisition, that is coming in the way. Environmental clearance, that is also coming in the way. So meaning, by simplifying the rules by the government, those projects can be executed. Otherwise, what happens? A company is taking money for executing a project, and the money has come to a company from the bank. But when it comes to execution, after spending some money, The project is not moving forward. The project is not moving forward because of the various restrictions of the government that are coming into picture. Of course, those restrictions are good, but they can be handled, they can be managed. Otherwise, what is happening? The money that came out is out, it is not going back to the bank. Then, if the money is not circulating, what happens to our economy? Economy slows down. Economy slows down, various opportunities will be, this is slow down. If the project takes place, if the project work starts in time, that will generate, lots of employment opportunities, infrastructure will be developed, lots of development will take place. And if it is not taking up, then obviously that will create huge problems to our economic system. Am I clear? Like this, there are so many banks, especially public sector banks in the country, which give away the loans, and they are suffering with the problem of the non-performing assets. Then how do you tackle with this? If you look at, the former governor of RBI, Reserve Bank of India, Raghuram Rajan, he said that because the banks are giving away the loans, the onus of collecting back also lies only on the banks. Meaning every bank has to establish a mechanism how, so where you can collect the, this the loans that are given. Meaning, don't make a loan as a bad loan. Bad loan is nothing but a non-performing asset because you are not generating any revenue to the bank. Of course, the sureties are there, but what is the value of the surety? When you took the loan, the value may be something, but when it comes to the liquidating that one, the value of this asset may be reduced. In any case, the banks are running into losses. For this reason, to tackle this problem, a concept called bad bank concept should be there, and a bank has to be established. But let me tell you one thing. Mr. Raghuram Rajan, who was the former governor of RBI, he was firmly against the bad loan. He was firmly against the establishment of the bad bank. So meaning he wanted the banks to create a mechanism where you can be collecting the loans. Clear? But there is a change of guard for RBI. Instead of Raghuram Rajan, we have other gentleman in that position, Mr. Urijit Patel. So after this gentleman took over, now there is a moment, and there is going to be a new policy. Even the government is also going to support that one, and a bank is going to be established, and it is called a bad bank. What is this? What exactly this bad bank is going to do? The existing banks, whatever the NPAs, non-performing assets are there, that will be transferred to bad bank. So now on this particular non-performing assets, what should be done will be decided by this bad bank, so that the regular banks will be relieved of this pressure, and they can concentrate on their regular activities, and the collection, recovery of the loan, or settlement of this loan, or adjustment of this loan, everything will be decided by the so-called this bad bank. Right? So hopefully, and of course there are advantages and disadvantages with this one. What exactly is going to happen, we need to wait and watch. Am I clear? But the government is supporting. The present governor of RBI is also in favor of the same. So we need to wait and watch what exactly is going to happen with this. So now let me open the document. You may please have a look at the document. Look at this. Former governor, right? In the beginning only I gave this note. I am talking about bad bank. Former governor of RBI, Mr. Raghuram Rajan, opposed the idea of a bad bank, meaning he was against this. So just now I told you what is this NPA. It stands for non-performing assets. It's a loan or advance for which the principal amount or the interest payment remained overdue for a period of 90 days. Clear? And the banks are required to classify non-performing assets further into substandard, doubtful, loss assets. What do you mean by this? Substandard NPAs, doubtful NPAs, and loss assets. What is the difference between all the three? Let's have a look at this. Assets which has remained non-performing asset for a period less than or equal to 12 months will be categorized as substandard assets. Clear? And the second category is the doubtful assets. Doubtful asset. First of all, kindly listen here. Just now we understood what is the substandard asset. In order to make a doubtful asset, first of all, it should be substandard asset. Now, look at this particular one, highlighted portion. An asset would be classified as a doubtful asset if it has remained in the substandard category for a period of 12 months. First of all, it need to be there as a substandard asset. Then later it will be categorized as the doubtful asset. And the last one is the loss assets. As per RBI, loss asset is considered uncollectible and of which little value, that its continuance as a bankable asset is not warranted, although there may be some salvage or recovery value. Meaning is simple: whatever you do with that asset, you are going to incur loss. There is no doubt about that. That is called the loss assets. Am I clear? Next, look at this. Bad bank. So this will be a financial institution that will buy and hold that all of the bad assets from the banks. Then they are sold in the open market. Obviously, those assets must be sold. Clear? So that must be converted into liquidity form. Then only the money will be coming back. How much money is coming? So we don't know. Obviously, you need to sell at a discounted rates only. Then only the people will come forward to purchase this. But there will be a reliability on this bad bank if it is backed by the government. Clear? Advantages are, it will help the banks for fresh lending, which leads to the assets creation, further mobilizing the economy. Look at this. If you ease the banks from this bad loan or non-performing assets, then banks will have the capacity for lending more. If you are lending more, you are creating more assets and you are going to boost the economy. Boost the economy. That is the reason why I would like to say something, my dear close friends. When you read, this any issue, maybe with respect to economy or any other subject, sometimes we come across with a policy that is made by the government or made by any authority, like RBI. Example, I'm telling you. That particular policy will be helping to strengthen the existing system. But that policy alone cannot do anything and everything. You need to be so clear with this. Clear? Very recently, the government has demonetized the currency. Right? So we have discussed so many times. Is it the end? Is it the end of the so-called the black money? Will it not lead to the generation of more black money in future? Definitely that is going to generate more black money in the future, because we had these examples. That is the reason why, if you have heard the Prime Minister very clearly, he said this is the beginning. This is not the ending. This is not the only step that has been taken and stopped. No. If the government stops now, everything will come back to normalcy. Rather, in future, more black money will be generated. It is not just more black money, more fake currency note will also come into picture. more fake currency notes will also come into picture in future. That is the reason why the various steps are being taken place, and that is the reason why all the people who got the deposits of more than 2.5 lakhs in a single transaction after November 8th, so they have been issued the notice by the so-called the income tax department. Meaning is simple, it is a very clear indication that the government is active, that the government is active, administration is active. This activeness should continue. That will lead to lots of changes in the society. Yes, in the beginning there are certain problems, and the people, common people, are facing the problem. There is no doubt about that. But in a long run, this is really going to strengthen our economic system. Various stocks are coming into picture. The government will come out very clearly. It seems that on every bank transaction there will be a tax. Most of the transactions are going to happen only through online. On every online transaction there is a tax, meaning the government will be continuously generating the revenue. Clear? So the ideas are good, but that the system needs to be implemented so effectively, and that we the people of India, we are expecting that it is going to be implemented very effectively. This today morning, I believe, I got one, this people will share lots of things through Facebook and WhatsApp, right? And I got a message through WhatsApp. Yeah, my mobile is there. Right, I'll just share that one with you. Right, and really funny and interesting, right? And they were saying that anyway the government is going for the printing the new currency notes, 2,500 rupee currency notes, and it said that on both the sides, both the corners, why don't the government will print the map of India map completely, including Kashmir. Whenever I say Kashmir, that also includes the POK, Pakistan occupied Kashmir. And one accusation is that clear, and of course it's a reality. The fake currency that is spreading in India, coming to India, this fake currency is being printed in Pakistan, right? So, right, evidences are there with the government. Now, they're saying that, nicely they said that, so you print the India map on the currency notes, including Kashmir, which also includes the POK. Then obviously Pakistan will stop printing those currency notes, right? No fake currency will be there. So because Pakistan is never accepting that POK is part of the Kashmir and Kashmir is part of India. So since you have this one, obviously Pakistan will not print this. Clear? So wonderfully narrated. I really liked that one. Okay. So now let's come back to this. So that is called the creativity. There is no depth of creativity in the country. People are really smart. Indians are really smart. Good people. All right. Look at this. So various proposals of this RBI, the steps have been taken place in the year 2014, 15 and 16. In 2014, RBI permitted the banks to extend the maturity of the loans given to the companies in the infrastructure sectors. If you have given any loans, extend the maturity period. Again, in the year 2015, option was given for converting part of the debt into equity. Meaning, if a company has taken the loan, if they are unable to pay back, and part of the loan that is given, convert that into equity, convert that into shares, so that the bank will also become the part of the management in that company. Next, in the year 2016, a scheme called Scheme of Sustainable Structuring of Stressed Assets. Scheme of Sustainable Structuring of Stressed Assets that came into picture. This is nothing but the splitting outstanding debt into sustainable debt and also equity. Clear? And these steps are taken by RBI that led to evergreening of bank accounts. That led to evergreening of the bank accounts. See here, so when it comes to evergreening of this bank accounts, so though it is not, this violation of any law, but when it comes to the actual system that is not expected to be done by the banks. So these are all the understanding among the banks and the corporates. Say for example, a particular person has taken loan from X bank, all right, and X bank has given the loan, right, and that became non-performing assets. That became non-performing asset over. So when it becomes a non-performing asset, that will not go back. The more is the NPA, the more will be the bad name for the banks. That is the reason why that person or the company that took the loan will approach another bank, and he will ask for the loans. And maybe the credibility, maybe the brand name, right? Whatever it is, you're giving the Y bank is also giving the loan to the same person. But this loan, instead of going into the market and investing there, this money is being utilized for clearing the loan of the first bank. Hope you are getting this. Y is giving loan. This person is taking the loan and clearing the loan of the X. But what is happening? Meaning the same amount of money is rotating in the banking circle. That money is not coming out. With respect to one bank, you are clearing, but you are still have lots of debt with the other bank. So this is considered to be an action against the spirit. Law is not stopping the banks to do this, but they are doing this. That's the reason why there is a collusion between the politicians and the this business people. So there is a collusion between the so-called the business people and also the banking people. That is the reason why so many problems will be there. Where the money should go into the market, then only it will generate. It is not just a circulation from X to Y bank, Y to X bank. It's not that clear. And this really caused a very big problem. So right, in the recent past, and this is called the evergreening of bank accounts. Right? How bad bank operates? Banks will recognize non-performing assets, and the assets can be sold in the market under RBI's strategic debt restructuring, that is called SDR. The assets can be converted into equity. Banks can restructure the loans like stretching the period of the loans or waiving a portion of the same. Waiving means, right, removing the loan, not complete loan. A part of loan can be, this can need not be collected, or it can be a combination of both. Clear? Banks can sell non-performing assets at a discount to an asset restructuring company. But what are the issues that are present? The issue is that if these NPAs are transferred from bank to a bad bank, then banks can concentrate on their routine work. Meaning the banks are getting relieved from the pain of recovering the loans. Clear? Number one. Or the same concept may become transferring the problem from one part of the government to the another. Because whatever the non-performing assets are there, majority of the NPAs are there with respect to this public sector banks only. Of course, private sector banks are also suffering with this problem. There is no doubt. But when it comes to the public sector banks, they are supported by the government. Tomorrow you are going to establish a bad bank. Again, the support will be given by the government. But when it comes to efficiency, what is the efficiency levels? Because everything, this bank, public sector bank and bad bank, you are the part of the government. Meaning, are you trying to shift the problem from one place to the other place? Or is it better to solve the problem here? That is the reason why. This is the reason why Raghuram Rajan was against for creating the bad bank. clear, but very soon it may become a reality. And of course the government has to look into the projects very very clearly, whether the projects are viable or non-viable, right? Meaning whenever you are transferring the non-performing assets, you please concentrate only on the non-viable projects. If the projects are viable, then make some flexibility in the existing rules, let the permission be granted, and let the work begin. Clear? Otherwise, the industry will suffer, and overall the entire economic system will be suffering, right? And that's about the system of bad bank. Once again I'm telling you, bad bank is not bad. Bad bank is not bad, right? So thank you so much for being with me this afternoon, and I wish you all the very very best and have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.